everybody. Thank you to give me the opportunity to present our suggestion. I am Thomas Granier. I am a mason. I am builder for more than 25 years in south of France, and for the last 20 years, I am working to deploy an approach of developing affordable housing in Sahelian Africa. And I want to present you what we do and the link between what we do with low impact materials. Merci. Next. Our technique use hearth. Hearth is excellent low-tech material in Africa, but in plenty countries in this world. Oh, sorry, I want to say sorry for my very bad English, just to start. Hearth is mostly local and abundant, and Hearth propose good adaptation and mitigation performance and comfort thermic performance. But what I want to say is, when we speak about low-tech material, we have to go a little bit ahead and to see and to articulate impact material, low impact material with building techniques. Next. If we speak only about material, we forgot something very important with techniques. And material without techniques is no use. You have to know how you build, and after you can say with what you build. So we propose a technical an architecture, very old architecture, more than 3,000 years old. It's coming from Africa. Is really adapted to the African context, fragile economy, limited technical skills. We have simplified and standardized the approach of the techniques, and these techniques could be used with basic tools. Next. And when you have a technique, appropriate architecture, construction technique, who use local material, and you have at this time to find how to make diffusion. The diffusion, you can have the good idea, but this good idea you have to scale it up. So the way how to spread your proposition, is what is very, very complicated in terms of material and techniques. For the last 24 years, I worked maybe 2 years on it, and we have a proposition who is closed with. But in terms of how to do diffusion, we worked 22 years on it, and we start on the middle of the river. So you have to have an appropriate dissemination methodology, who is going to be a vector of an emerging of autonomous and growing market, and this approach must be benefit to many people as possible. Next. So we create in 2000 our association. We are an NGO, and we work to propose this approach in Africa, in Sahelian Africa, like I say. Of course, we are not going to give fish, but to learn how to fish, and we are also going to learn how to repair the net and to sell the fish, to have transversal and systemic approach. Next. So our sustainable construction techniques is, for the main work, totally with hearth. And like I have said already, it's very old antique technical proposition, only raw earth abundant availability, center on local economy and local know-how, and use for plenty use. We can use it in plenty way, private and community, rural and urban, informal and formal economy. And we have standardized and simplified the approach to be sure people could take it. Thank you. Next. Voilà. The way for diffusion is the market. The market is a judge of your proposition. If you have no market and no growing of the market, it's maybe your proposition is not good or not enough adapted. And on the same time, the market is a Troy horse of a large diffusion. Market means three axes: complementary, an offer, from rural mason to engineers, architect, to be sure to be able to respond to all the different kind of client, and with the offer a way to training professional training, who is going to be adapted to the sectors you want to make emerging. A demand with and you have to help every different kind of client to sensibilize and response to different values clienteles, and a favorable business environment with many stakeholders mobilized. With these three acts, you can make grow your market. Next. And also, we have a proven methodology who permits the dissemination area by area in a kind of viral deployment from commune, from department, regions, country. So we have take quite long, more than 10 years, by research and development on the fields to understand how we can consider this proven this methodology and to be sure it's work. I say then I precise and AVN, Nubian Vault Association, do not give house or sell house. We make the capacity of the market to be accessible to many people as possible. Next. Here you have a map of our territorial deployment in Senegal, Mali, Burkina Faso, north of Ghana, north of Benin. We also have a partner and we build also some, we participate some project in Mauritania, and we have some project to next country, Togo, Niger, Chad. We hope we wish to go more to the east on the next year. Next. Our result and impact are growing. You see, we are now in 6 countries, and it's grown quite quickly. Not enough in front of the situation of Sahel, but in what I know, no other program in Africa have been doing what we do right now. Next. For us, we plenty partners and actors tell us that we are doing good things already, but for us the good things is something what must come. We have today 1,000 building site open by year, but this is ridiculous in front of the needs, and we wish and we work and we hope to be at the level 10,000 building site open by year in 2030, and maybe 100,000 in 2040. And we want to have more a country, more people ready to build, and we want to impact deeply and very the architectural culture in Saharan Africa. Next. Obstacles and difficulties to disseminate earth material and eco-construction are not considered in dominant culture. Everyone look at the television and want the same house than what's they see in those films you have coming from Mexico or Brazil. Is very beautiful. Everyone wants this, and those ones who decide want the same. So that's one main difficulties. Yeah, a lack of vision from decision makers, political and other. Lobbies pressuring for the business of modern material. Actors like we are, AVN, need more time and more money to be able to operate, and you have a break between the reality of popular architecture and the approach, the contemporary technical approach now, and voila. And carbon issue, even if in Africa those countries have low emission, but they have to be mobilized, and they could be mobilized on climate mitigation, adaptation, and resource issue. And it's important those population are inside this way of thinking. The carbon performance could be a tool to finance the evolution of the sector and push the eco practice. And by the way, we can articulate mitigation and adaptation, and by the way, to get additional impact for to change in systemic approach the situation. Next. Oh, here are some awards and distinction of our program for the last 15 days. Next. Thank you very much for this poor English presentation.
Thank you very much, Thomas. That was excellent. Really, really interesting case study. And we've got time for a couple of questions.
Yes.
Anyone from the audience?
Yes, there was, I think I saw in one of your previous slides or previous presentations, the problem of deforestation. I think that you had found in a place in Mali that they were cutting a lot of trees to make the traditional roof. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, it's true. It's not just on Mali. It's a little bit everywhere. But I don't mention it because, in fact, the wood is not there anymore. We are already in a situation with desertification have been nearly completed, and slowly the traditional architecture are lost, and more of that you need some special trees, red and big section trees and red wood, who are disparating more quickly than the other one. So it's for sure our proposal impact the this situation, but we are more targeting to the co-regulate roofing, who is now the reality for 80% of the population.
Yeah, I just think that's going to be a really important thing that we pick up on tomorrow, with the climate change and shelter. Because Thomas, that's the sort of theme of this workshop is, and there are other places in Africa where they are still cutting trees to make low quality housing. And desertifying their country.
Are there any other questions? One question.
Thomas, thank you very much for the really excellent presentation. Really excellent to learn about your work and also analysis of barriers and scaling up and things like that, which we can take forward in our discussions. I have a question, because you're talking to a room or a community of humanitarian shelter people. Have you worked in more humanitarian contexts, like rapid contexts, and have you found different barriers there?
Sorry, I have not listened very well.
Maybe I'll come and talk closer. I'll ask it more quickly. It looks as though you're generally working in development context, where perhaps you have a bit more time and you're taking a really excellent long-term approach. Have you worked in more humanitarian contexts where people are expecting more rapid results of you? How have you found humanitarian actors, humanitarian donors?
Okay. Yes, recently we work, you know, the situation in Burkina Faso is very bad. You have more than 1.5 million of people who have been moving from north to center. And we, this year and last year, we worked with 2 actors, ONU, HCR, High Refugees, well, I don't know the name in English, and with Danish Refugees Council. And we have program of building. We work just this year. We have 300 housing building for these refugees. But this we can do it because we have already have a development approach. So we have mason. We have the capacity to build it. But again, even the development today is go too quickly. They give you 3 years to make something happen. At the moment, you need 10 years. But also, we can give answer to a question for refugees. I hope I was on the good.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much, Thomas. I think that's